Year 2020. The world was put to a halt. Everything stopped, closed, everyone stayed inside their homes. Even the education sector was affected by the sudden shift of events. Students and teachers were forced to rely on distance education. Everyone was unprepared. Here in the Philippines, there are two main modes of distance learning employed by the Department of Education, namely online classes and modular learning. This sudden shift has harmed students' performance in science and mathematics. Many students and teachers face difficulties due to the lack of technological literacy and access to devices. Here in our country, the situation is no different, with the students struggling with technology, learning methods, and the high costs associated with online learning. That is why this study came into its conception and its realization. Good day, everyone. My name is Jericho Danipog Mauricio, a graduate scholar of the Department of Science and Technology, SEI, under the Capacity Building Program for Science and Mathematics Education. It is with great honor and pleasure to present to you my thesis titled Acceptability of Messenger Chatbot as a Digital Interactive Teaching Learning Material in General Biology 1. Before we continue, what is this chatbot that we are going to talk about? This chatbot can simulate human-like conversations, teaching students through familiar platforms like Messenger. It can deliver lessons, answer questions, and provide instant feedback. Students can access the chatbot anytime and anywhere, clarifying doubts and engaging in interactive learning experiences. What's more, this chatbot uses minimal data compared to other online learning applications, making them accessible to a wider audience. The use of chatbot technology is not new. Primarily employed in e-commerce and customer support services, although the Philippines has seen some research on chatbot applications, there is still a lack of exploration on their use as an alternative mode of lesson delivery. By utilizing AI-enabled messenger chatbots for education, we can provide students with an interactive, fun, and cost-efficient mode of learning. These chatbots can automate assessments, answer students' questions, and promote collaboration and active learning. Teachers can save time on manual tasks and focus on providing personalized support to their students. But why are we doing this? This study wants to see a mid ground where students can have the interactivity of learning while not experiencing financial hurdles. In general, this study aims to see whether an AI enabled messenger chatter robot will be an acceptable alternative mode of teaching and education for teachers and students, respectively. Specifically, this study aims to do the following objectives: evaluate the chatbot as a teaching material in General Biology 1 using LRMDS SGEC and LRMDS EARNS NPM, and also test against the IT standards using usability and acceptability tests from Ulster University. In addition, the messenger chatbot's acceptability as educational material in General Biology 1 was also tested. Disclaimer: this thesis only look at the acceptability of the chatbot. It is by no means implied that this mode will be utilized by the entirety of the Department of Education, but only as an option. I also did not look at the chatbot's effectiveness or any other aspect thereof compared to the other modes mentioned earlier. On the premise of testing the acceptability of the AI-enabled messenger chatbot, the most suitable learning theory for this study would be constructivism, which says that learning is built through stock knowledge and experiences. These experiences can be branched out as correction of misconceptions and reflection. This theory can be connected to the chatbot since one of its features is correcting information through AI conversations. In addition to this, the following theories are also associated with this study. Furthermore, Fred Davis's technology acceptance model was also considered. This model speaks of the user's intent to utilize a new technology will depend on various factors. These factors are, but are not limited to the following, which are all applicable to the AI chatbot. When we mention artificial intelligence or AI, we often think of futuristic scenarios portrayed in movies. However, in the context of our chatbot, AI is simply a tool we harness to enhance the learning experience. Our chatbot utilizes OpenAI's GPT API, a language model that uses natural language processing. It generates responses based on its vast knowledge base, ensuring accurate and informative interactions. So, how does it work? When a user asks a question like, "What is science?" the chatbot's AI employs tokenization, a process that predicts the most likely next word based on its understanding of the context. The AI generated response is then sent to the chatbot, which promptly delivers it to the user. Imagine students being able to engage in interactive conversations with a chatbot, asking questions, seeking clarifications, and receiving instant personalized responses. This dynamic learning experience encourages active participation and fosters a deeper understanding of the subject matter. But that's not all. The chatbot also offers a data efficient solution. While online classes consume significant amounts of data, the chatbot utilizes a minimal amount, reducing the burden on students with limited internet access. With the chatbot, education becomes more accessible, interactive, and cost effective. It empowers students to take control of their learning journey, ensuring they receive a quality education regardless of the circumstances. The question now is, how did we attain this? Our research journey began with the preparation of the chatbot. We carefully selected a lesson and crafted a script that captures the essence of the subject matter. But we did not stop there. We subject the script to a crucial evaluation process using the Flesch Kincaid reading is test, ensuring that the language used is appropriate for the intended grade level and readability. With the chatbot prepared, it is time to put it to the test. We gathered our respondents and categorized them into three groups: professionals, students, and IT experts. The professionals, including principals, coordinators, and educators, evaluate the chatbot's educational soundness using evaluation checklists provided by the Department of Education. The students, the heart of our education system, provide invaluable feedback on the acceptability of the chatbot. They utilize the 7 characteristics of a good chatbot acceptability checklist, rating their experience on a Likert scale. Our IT experts assess the chatbot's usability and acceptability using the Chatbot Usability and Technology Acceptability Questionnaire developed by the Ulster University, evaluating the chatbot's functionality and user experience. Through this comprehensive research paradigm, we aim to create an AI enabled messenger chatbot that garners acceptance and approval from professionals, students, and IT experts alike. By doing so, we determine the feasibility of incorporating chatbots as a viable option in distance education. This research has utilized a descriptive developmental research design since the nature of this study is to develop a material and check its acceptability using descriptive statistics. This was achieved by using different data gathering tools, namely Learning Resources Management and Development System, Educational Soundness General Evaluation Checklist, or LRMDS SGEC, which is a 22 statement yes or no type of questionnaire, and LRMDS Evaluation Rating Sheet for Non-Print Materials, or LRMDS Earns NPM, which is a 27 statement 4-point Likert scale checklist. Both of these were answered by the professional group. Chatbot usability and acceptability questionnaire were utilized for the IT experts group. And a 4-point Likert scale acceptability checklist called 7 characteristics of a good chatbot for SHS students taking general biology subjects. The respondents of this study came from different schools and universities across Isabela and Nueva Vizcaya provinces, namely Alicia National High School, Gamu Rural School, Nagilian National High School, Mary Sunshine Montessori School, Philippine Normal University, and St. Mary's University, which are all chosen using stratified purposive sampling. The data gathering for this study is divided into 5 stages. In the preparatory stage, all of the papers needed for the proposal approval were finished. In the next stage, communication letters were personally sent to the educational institutions. Under the administration stage, the respondents were allowed to utilize the chatbot for a week, and after that, another week for the answering of the data gathering tools. The fourth stage should be the data processing and analysis stage, where all the data gathered using the data gathering tools were processed and analyzed using SPSS and Microsoft Excel. For the said processing and analysis, descriptive statistics were chosen to generalize the bigger picture when it comes to the acceptance of the AI chatbot. Lastly, the post-research stage, where the finalized version of this research will be sent to the Department of Science and Technology Region 2 and the Department of Education, Schools Division of Isabela. After the methodologies were employed, here are the salient findings of this study. Under SGEC, the respondents unanimously believe and answered yes for 18 out of 22 presented qualities. These qualities are all positive and are very much desired when creating a resource material. With this, we can safely say that the chatbot interactive learning resource is educationally sound in the eyes of professionals in the education sector. On the other hand, under Ernst NPM, the AI chatbot passed 3 out of 4 qualities named in the data gathering tool. This means that the chatbot is considered to have high quality in terms of content, instructional, and technical, with a need for minor improvements. When it comes to the IT experts, under the usability, the median values for all items fall between 3.5 to 4, indicating that respondents generally agree that the chatbot has a user-friendly and intuitive user interface. Among the evaluators, 60% didn't feel the need to leave a comment. I assume that they are already okay with the current features of the chatbot based on their responses. The other 40% think that a chatbot like this is very useful for students, and they say that it is one of a kind chatbot and wish that it existed when they are still in college. On the other hand, the acceptability model shows 2 factors that greatly affect the acceptance of users. These are perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. This data shows us that the evaluators found the chatbot to be very technologically acceptable since all of their responses range from 3 to 4, which means that they agree to strongly agree to the positively written statements. Finally, to the SHS students, it appears that the chatbot performed well in all 7 characteristics of a good chatbot. The median values for all items in each characteristic were generally high, indicating that respondents generally agreed that the chatbot has a user-friendly and intuitive user interface, good lesson delivery flow, high-quality lesson content, a positive assessment experience, provides immediate feedback, help attain lesson objectives and or competencies, and had good artificial intelligence interaction. So, it can be said that the chatbot passed all the characteristics mentioned. Now, based on the data gathered and the findings of this research, generally, the AI-enabled messenger chatter robot is an acceptable alternative mode of teaching and education for teachers and students. To be more specific, as a teaching material in GenBio 1, it was found that the chatbot is educationally sound and can be utilized as a teaching learning resource through the SGEC. In addition to this, as a digital interactive and non-print material under Ernst NPM, the robot is acceptable in terms of its content, instructional, and technical qualities. People with IT-related backgrounds also found this AI acceptable and usable. This was measured using CUQ and TAMs. Furthermore, the senior high students who are currently taking GenBio 1 also find the chatbot's characteristics generally acceptable. In conclusion, we can now assert that the Masaya, the Science AI chatbot, is an acceptable digital interactive teaching learning material in General Biology 1. Based on the findings and conclusions, the recommendations were grouped into four. First one, teachers. As much as teachers control students inside the classroom, teachers cannot control their students under the clock. So instead of putting them in the box when it comes to AI technologies like Masaya, it is healthier and more productive to teach them on how to better utilize such technologies to their maximum potential in a way where the students will not become heavily dependent or reliant on AI in a negative light. To teach them how to responsibly use technologies like how teachers teach students on how to become a responsible netizen. Look for ways on how to better integrate and moderate the use of AI in a classroom setting. Second, for the curriculum developers and or Department of Education, if feasible, create a curriculum fit for those students who would want to take their education through the chatbot, especially those who are studying under the Balik Aral program of DepEd. Look into the effectiveness of administering modules to those unfortunate students who are bound by the harsh reality of life and are restrained by going physically to school against using an AI-enabled messenger chatbot like Masaya. Provide training and support to teachers who are interested in making AI-enabled chatbots. The DepEd can also create an ad hoc committee consisting of a team of education experts and IT experts who can make the content of the chatbot and implement it. Third, persons with background on IT. Bound with the limits of GPT 3.5 Turbo by OpenAI, find a way to cheaply and easily integrate other text-based artificial intelligence with larger models and up-to-date knowledge bases. This may include but is not limited to Bing AI, GPT-4, and Google Bard. Integration of other types of AI such as image generators like DALL-E 2, Blue Willow, and Midjourney will help those students who learn visually or those students who want to explore arts. Last but definitely not the least, for future researchers, subject the topic of this study to a wider or new locale. See whether the results of this study still stands. Conduct a study that will look into the effectiveness of the chatbot when it comes to the learning of the students. This may include other learning areas aside from science. Conduct a study on the readiness of our teachers or our educational curriculum when it comes to the increasing trend or demand for artificial intelligence. You may look up to how the people inside the education sector can make better use of it. I think that's it for this video presentation. If you are curious or you want to read the references of this research, you can scan the QR code on the screen right now. Again, I am Jericho Danipag Mauricio, inspired by mission, driven by excellence. Thank you very much.